Hi, Ron. This is Randy Unger. I'm with Unger the Radar. How are you today?
Are you in New York?
I am, yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Are you in L.A.?
I am.
Okay. Well, thanks for taking the time today. Just wanted to congratulate you on the film. It's really, really good, funny, smart, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. How did you get involved with the project?
Well, I ran into Billy Gerber, who's one of the producers who was the head of production at Warner Brothers, was back in the day when I made, Cobb and Tin Cup. And we were just kind of getting caught up. I hadn't seen him in years. What are you doing? What are you doing? And we started talking.
Okay.
And about a character we know who will go nameless, but he was kind of a hustler, lovable guy, and it led me to invent in Bad Traffic, getting back to my Santa Monica office, this character of Duke, who, which sort of, before I got back to my office, I had this whole idea for a movie set in Palm Springs at Christmas. So it was very odd. So the idea came to me quickly, and then the writing time was the normal amount. But it came from an old meeting and a character that we knew.
Okay. What was it like working with this amazing cast?
Well, I was fortunate, obviously. I've been very lucky in my career to have these wonderful actors and actresses. In the case of Tommy, I knew him, and I'd worked with him before, and we did a very dark picture about Jack Dobbin. But he's a complete pro, and Morgan, I discovered, was equally a complete pro. And so I had two veterans who are talented, iconic actors who are also completely prepared every day, every moment. They know their lines when they get there. The questions are smart. The things they bring up are smart. And just every young actor should sit and watch these guys.
Right.
You know, there's no drama except on the screen. So, and they were a perfect odd couple pairing that is what I wanted because they're so different.
That's great. And what was it like? What was the casting process like? Do you have other leads in mind?
Well, I didn't have anybody in mind when I wrote it, and we were talking names, and we got a financing partner, which was great because they could make an offer. When you make an offer to an actor, you get their attention in a hurry. And when Morgan's name came up, I said, "Well, I didn't think of him at all, but I liked the idea. I liked the surprisingness of it, and so we offered it to him, and he really liked the script, and then I called Tommy and said, Tommy, I got a script for you. Take a look. It's real. Morgan's in it, and he says, I want to play off. I like this. I like the idea of playing this off of Morgan, and I mean, it's not like anything Tommy's ever done, and he probably smiles more in this movie than he's ever smiled.
Yeah, I think he did smirk a little bit more than he usually does.
Yeah, a lot.
Okay. So, I mean, did you hang out with the cast and crew when the cameras were rolling? It seemed like a very light-hearted set, like everyone was getting along. Was it that way?
Well, I tried to create, the answer is yes. I try to create sets where everybody's a team. I mean, it's very athletic in that regard. And you know, we try to show up very prepared every day and stay on the plan and the schedule. I don't like these sets that are just chaotic, and I know about them, and we stick to the plan. And we had a very, very, very short shooting schedule, 28 days, so you have to kind of stick to the plan. And yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of time to hang out when you're shooting that fast, because by the time you're done, you go back to your hotel and have a couple of cocktails and come back to work the next day. But I will say we got along great.
Okay. Now this is an action. I guess you could call it a light action comedy.
Yeah, I never intended it as they call it action comedy. There's a little action. It's all kind of throwaway Shaggy Dog stuff. I mean, it's not an action comedy in the sense of what an action movie is these days. So I sort of didn't like that they were calling it an action comedy, but I didn't have anything better to call it.
I'd call it maybe a romantic dramedy.
There you go. Well, the expectations when the word action is on it is a $200 million visual effects. Right. And we're not. We're a little indie movie, honestly, with a car chase and a truck chase that goes nowhere.
I wouldn't call it an indie. I'd definitely call it, it's definitely above that.
Well, it's above that, but it's it's all made with Broad Green is a kind of a outlaw company, and the other partners are. It's not a big studio movie, and it didn't cost.
Now, what do you hope audiences take away from this film?
Well, when you hit a certain age, your life's still in front of you. You don't have to look back. You can keep looking forward.
Okay.
Nobody's here looking at the pictures of their grandkids or their high school yearbook. It's all about where's the next party, who's next, what drinks are you serving. I mean, that's the baby boomers, of which I'm one, are all. You know what we were doing in the '60s? We were going crazy.
Right.
It was. I mean, everybody was. You've read about the '60s and the '70s.
Right.
Now all of us are 70.
Right.
So we've kind of done a lot of stuff, and now we want to start living again. Now, in my case, I still want to work, but I know people, retirement's a dirty word.
Right. No, it's a great film, and I love the message of, just keep going forward and just have fun doing it.
Yeah.
So I know you were originally a minor league baseball player in your youth. What was it like transitioning from baseball player to filmmaker?
Well, I was a movie nut in baseball. I would go to movies every day, and I didn't think I'd ever make them. But I liked writing a bit. I'm certainly more than most ball players, and I was an English lit major, and I'd always messed around with that. And after baseball, I wrote and published a few short stories, and then I started writing screenplays. So it evolved, really, and by the time I realized I really loved doing this, and by the time I was writing and directing, I felt I was very fortunate because I was being paid to do something I was pretty good at and I really loved doing. And unlike sports where you lose a step every year, making movies you should gain a step. You get better, I think. So it was, I took, the transition wasn't quick. It was probably, I'll tell you, about 18 years from the last baseball game to the first thing I sold as a screenwriter.
Now, was that Under Fire in 1982?
That was the first feature that got made. I'd been for a couple of years selling little things or doing little rewrites just to make enough money to, pay the rent. But then Under Fire kind of got me going.
How did that come about originally? I'm curious.
There was a script by another writer about a photojournalist, and Roger Spottiswoode, the director, basically known as one of Sam Peckinpah's editors. He actually edited. He lasted 3 movies with Sam. Nobody else did that. And he was becoming a director and a very good one. And he'd liked a script of mine he found.
Okay.
And he thought that this existent script about a photojournalist that I could do a page 1 rewrite, and I did, and we got it off the ground. So we went to Nicaragua with photojournalists. We got to know a lot of photojournalists, and we were fascinated by the politics of the whole thing. That's how it happened.
That's awesome. And it's it's kind of an underrated film. You don't really hear a lot about it, but I remember it being very powerful. So certain scenes were just like really very raw and very really moving. So
well,
good
thank you.
job on that.
I get letters on that still when people go, my God, I didn't know you wrote it. And I got to direct second unit, and the great John Alcott shot it. The DP who shot I just blanked. Clockwork Orange, the great British director, all his movies.
Wow.
And so that was my film school in one movie, working for those guys.
Did you happen to meet Jerry Goldsmith?
I met him briefly once. I'm so sad he was gone. He died because I wanted him to do some movies for me.
Oh wow.
His score is still, he considered one of the best he ever wrote, and it's still a killer score.
I love it. The pan flutes and the electronics are just insane.
Well, you know what we did? I'm glad you asked this question, because we used pan flutes to temp the movie.
Okay.
And Jerry said he hated temp scores because he knew directors fell in love with them. He said it was the best temp score ever, and he wanted to use pan flutes. And so he wrote a completely original score, and they went to London to record it with the London Philharmonic,
Mm.
and they didn't have anybody that could play the pan flutes as good as, you know, the Central American natives. And so they had to get two flautists to alternate notes, where the native musicians were playing the whole thing themselves. They couldn't play it fast enough. So anyway, it came out great. Score.
Oh my God! Yeah, and I think it was nominated for an Academy Award.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's one of his strongest scores, I'd say. I'm a big Jerry enthusiast, you know, and
I am too. And I, as I said, I only met him, but then was hoping to work with him. John Alcott was going to shoot for me, and Jerry was going to score, and then they both died young. Well,
oh God.
John had a heart attack. He was like 54.
Right. I think Jerry had some type of cancer in 2004. He passed.
I know it, but he wasn't that old either. It was
yeah, he was like maybe early 70s at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm just now imagining like a baseball, like Cobb scored by Jerry, or this movie could have been scored by Jerry.
Yeah.
You know, he excelled, I think, in sports and action. No,
he had such a great orchestral sound that was very specific. A lot of orchestral scores since are just sort of mood pieces, but he was very, you know, melodic and specific.
Right.
I did like our score in Cobb by Elliot Goldenthal, though.
Okay, I actually didn't hear that, but I do like Goldenthal as well. Demolition Man, Batman Forever.
Right.
Yeah, he's very good too. But yeah, for me, it's very personal for me. Like a Jerry score, a sports score by Jerry it's just always been great. And I don't know if you ever heard or seen the film Gladiator from 1992. It's a boxing drama.
Oh, I haven't seen it since then. Remind me of it. I remember this thing.
Well, the story, I'm not really sure. I just know about the score. Jerry's score was replaced by Brad Fiedel. This was in 1992. Jerry had written a few cues. I think he wrote maybe half an hour or 40 minutes of score, but it was replaced by Brad Fiedel, and it's just very electronic, and it's basically kind of like Hoosiers, but for a boxing film. It was really good.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm a big score enthusiast, like I said. How important is music to you in your movies?
It's very important. I'm a very big part of it. In this movie, we didn't, you know, really have the money to buy some of the iconic Christmas stuff I wanted, so we got some offbeat stuff, you know, some funky group doing Silent Night at up tempo, and so we went the other direction, except for Winter Wonderland, which Johnny Mathis recut with a jazz trio for us, because his famous recording is 70-piece orchestra.
Okay.
So that's the only piece we really spent money on. And then Alex Werman, who did this score for us, is really talented guy. I mean, this movie we didn't have much money for, so it was for a big movie star movie. It was also kind of down and dirty. And Alex, I will go to his studio and he'll play pieces for me. We'll say, let's take that one.
It was down and dirty, but it didn't look that way. I mean, it looked really, you know, polished and.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it was
28 days. 28 days.
That's amazing. That's really it's very cool. So.
It helped to have actors who were that professional and that good that I could move them that quickly. And there's a lot of actors couldn't have moved this quickly. Because it's a dialogue-heavy movie, and there was lots of moves and locations, and we're always, you know, we're not sitting in a soundstage every day.
Now you've got Morgan, you've got Tommy, you've got Renee, these huge, seasoned, iconic actors, and then I know there's a bunch of younger actors, maybe in their 20s and 30s. What was it like having to combine both generations?
Well, there's only two actors that are under 65 in the whole movie. I mean, you've got George Wallace and Joey Pantaleone and Graham Beckel and the late, very sad to say, late Glenn Headley and Liz Ashley and Cheryl Lee Ralph. I mean, they're all complete pros. And
so I guess I'm just thinking of the two actors who played the Villa Capri employee.
Sort of the intern guy, Jimmy. Nick Payne. He's a discovery. This guy's really naturally funny. I'd never heard of him. He'd never done anything really, and he came in and wanted the part in the audition, and Morgan loved him immediately. He's a really got a natural comic sense.
Hmm.
Gives really good, fun deliveries, and
Yeah.
he's already getting work off of this. So I'm
Oh yeah.
thrilled. He
Great.
was just like shocked to be as all these icons, and he's running around
Nice.
like, I can't believe I'm in a movie with Tommy Lee Jones. And,
That's awesome.
That kind of thing.
Randall, we got to wrap.
Oh, well.
Okay, one more question.
Time with New York. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So yeah, I'm just curious. What advice do you have for aspiring filmmakers out there?
Well, the digital world is a real blessing because it doesn't cost much to make a movie. Just don't try to make a movie make the movie that you can make great for the money you have. Keep it simple. Make it about human behavior. Don't try to make a $100 million movie for $150,000. So, because everybody wants a movie that's about people and human behavior, and if you keep it simple like that, you got a shot.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, Ron, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Under the radar.
Yeah, it's Under the Radar, and if you're ever in the Huntington, New York area, we'd love to have you maybe for an in-person interview. Where
is Huntington?
That's in Long Island, New York.
Okay. Oh, great. I'll let you know.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.